Hello Animals Alliance, if you're seeing this video right now, I couldn't make it to the presentation, and I'm probably driving back from work right now. Sorry. I hope this Finishing School Otters event has been going well for everyone. Anyways, I'm AJ, otherwise known as No RFS Guy, but hopefully me saying that will make it age very poorly. And this is why I play my class, the Demon Slayer. So for starters, Demon Slayer is a warrior class of the Resistance faction, and unlike most classes in the game, they don't use MP. They use a resource called DF, or Demon Fury. Uh, you can see up here in the top, I have 283. This is the maximum base amount that they can have, but generally they don't use this much. So among the warriors, they are one of the most mobile warriors, and also um, maybe not the warrior with the best survivability. That probably goes to Mihail, but they definitely have one of the best survivability, um, partially because of their mobility and access to iframes. They are a relatively simple class. They're not exactly one button like a lot of, like Hero, for example. Uh, but their damage output is definitely simple. A lot of the complexity of this class comes in the movement, which is something that I really love about them. DS is a 2-minute class, and um, it depends on what your definition of a burst class is or not. I kind of call them like a long burst class or a hybrid burst class, where their burst is good. They have a decent damage output in their 35-second burst window, which is pretty standard these days, or during the 10 to 20-second bind window with your normal bind and your origin bind. So in regards to that, yes, they do output burst damage, but their burst buffs last around a minute actually. So for a 2-minute class, being in burst for half the rotation is kind of what I like to call like a hybrid burst. So might as well get the big one out of the way. Uh, Demon Slayer can grind very, very easily. This is thanks to a skill called Chaos Lock, the skill pictured on Control, which is one of Demon Slayer's great mobility options, but it also serves as a mobbing tool in that it teleports them to a random mob on the map. So what people end up doing is changing their keyboard to either English International or any form of Spanish, and putting their Infernal Concussion mobbing skill on Alt and Chaos Lock on Control, and holding their right Alt key or Alt GR, which will cause both of these keys to simultaneously press and alternate these two skills. So they called it's called teleport farming or TP farming, where they will just teleport randomly around the map and use Infernal Concussion. Um, so the big caveat with this is please follow Nexon terms of service. Do not keyweight this. The Squidward meme down here is from GM Lexi. Uh, yeah, using your finger to push the button, perfectly okay, but do not use the tungsten cube. Tungsten cube bad. Uh, so if you ever see Demon Slayer grinding around in maps, they're probably teleporting around like this with Janus Dusk, the lightning rain. And it gets rates very similar, if not identical, to actual active farming. And because it's effortless one button, it makes Demon Slayer a very popular farming class for um, familiars or just in general, like to main, because farming is just a lot in this game. Uh, and the cycle is pretty much just if you're farming, you're doing this. If you're active farming, then, I respect it too. I did that for a very long time. Anyways, they also have a very easy to pull off burst. I mentioned this earlier, but it's really easy. All they have to do is push all their buff buttons. You have your number row, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You bind the boss, spawn your snake. We just call it the snake. I believe in other languages, or at least in Korean, it's called Jormungandr, but in GMS it's localized to Spirit of Rage, and everyone just calls it Snake for shorthand. Uh, After you spawn the snake, all they do is hold Demon Bane, which is a very safe key down invincible skill that lasts for 6 seconds and outputs pretty good damage. The big key point here is that it is invincible for 6 seconds, making your burst very safe. Um, it's 6 seconds is long enough to do things like go through Black Mage rolling meteors or keep yourself from dying to the fire columns during Sunset Siren, among other things. It is a very um, ignorant tool, you could say. And after that, they just use Demon Lash. Demon Awakening is a 50% uptime buff that makes their basic attack, Demon Lash, very, very strong. And it's very, very fast as well. So, I'm sure all of you last week learned about Black Mage, where you kind of have to rotate your bossing skill. Maybe you can use it 4 or 5 times, and then you have to be prepared to duck his kick. Um, Demon Awakening is fast enough to the point where you can just hold it down and react to the kick, and then let go of the button and duck. Similar to Hurricane classes. So I mentioned this earlier with the hybrid burst. They get a bit of both worlds with having a good burst and pretty high DPM that lasts long after their 35-second window. But after Demon Awakening runs out, you kind of cry a little bit because Demon Impact is quite weak and very slow. But it's not the end of the world. You just chill around for 40 seconds, and your burst is back up. Wow. You just start pumping out damage again. All right. So my absolute favorite thing with Demon Slayer is the mobility. So they have a flash jump, they have an up jump, they have a glide, they have Chaos Lock for that teleport, and then they have a very long and fast dash. I think it's one of the best dashes in the game. So their flash jump and up jump are pretty standard like other classes. I think their up jump's taller than average. But they do take getting used to because, unlike most classes where they can keybind their jump or just push jump twice, they have to use double arrow keys because their jump in the air input is glide. And the glide is gotta be one of the most busted tools to have on a character. You've probably seen this mentioned in the Corsair presentation, and what Glide allows Demon Slayer to do is slowly descend. But not only that, if you push the glide input, it also preserves the current momentum. So if you're going very fast, you'll glide but very fast. If you're going slow, you'll glide but slow, horizontally. Vertically, your descent speed is fixed. But glide also gives you access to instant momentum. So the moment you push the left or right arrow key while gliding, your momentum, left or right, gets instantly sent to that. So it makes demon movement very low commitment. A lot of classes are like, hey, my dash goes this length and my double jump goes this length. Demon can be like, I can double jump, but then I can glide out of my double jump. And I can choose how far I want to go. Or their dash can be jump cancelled. So if they don't want to go the full dash length, they can just push jump in the middle of it and they'll stop. Uh, Glide can also be used to cancel Demon's up jump. So if they don't want to go the full height, they can up jump, push glide, and then right when they're over a platform, they'll just smoothly land on the platform right when they get above it, because they will just, glide will just stop their upwards momentum. Uh, and then Chaos Lock is very great, especially in Black Mage. You can see the GIF on the bottom. They are teleporting away from the spike and then dashing through the white meteors. Alright, and then this clip right here is from my first Black Mage solo. You can really see the mobility and the survivability here. I upjumped and I actually missed that platform. Uh, my intent there was to use the up jump cancel with glide to land on the platform and iframe. I actually missed, and my iframe still lasted through the white meteors, and I was able to up jump and then land on the platform. And you could see that I used glide to air stall against the wall before I fell into the rolling meteors, and then I used glide to cross over the white meteors afterwards. I'll play it one more time. Here's the white meteors and the rollings. I hold blank and then glide out. Oh, alright, there. So, about their survivability. Again, their burst is very safe. Uh, I love Demon Bane's animation over here. That's Demon Bane, where you are invincible during your burst. They have 2 disposable iframes on short cooldowns. You have Ravenstorm, which is a 50% heal, and it's a 1-second iframe, I believe. Demon Slayer can use Ravenstorm on the floor and dash once, and that dash will be still invincible. And they have Dark Metamorphosis, which is a 90-second cooldown at max level, and at level 1 it's like 31-second cooldown. Most people will play with max level because at level 30 it has a passive that gives you percent damage, which is very important. But the Dark Metamorphosis iframe is 2.5 seconds long. So you can actually use Dark Metamorphosis and dash twice with invincibility. It is quite crazy how much longer the invincibility lasts compared to the animation of the skill. Uh, and then Demon Slayer also has lifesteal that they can give to the party. So every 5 seconds they heal 25% HP on hit, and that also heals their party. So with a Demon Slayer, you don't have to worry too much about chip damage. It's very nice. Like Lucid Bullets or like the Will Spider Legs in Phase 3, you don't have to worry about it too much. Um, then their mobility plays into the survivability very well because they can maneuver around like every situation that they could possibly want, and if they get caught out, oh, I have an iframe to fix my mistake, or I have an iframe I can just greed damage, or just be ignorant to whatever pattern because I don't want to play it. But also they kind of need it. I'll get into that more, but very very safe class. Oh, also their iframes are cooldown skippable. All right, Misk. So, Demon Cry is a 4th job skill and it gives 20% drop rate and EXP debuff. You use it for on the boss chest for cope that it actually works on the drop rate and goes above the 400 cap. We don't actually know. You might as well do it. Um, and they also pull boss aggro very easily, where uh, because of how many debuffs they have, Demon Impact, their regular bossing skill applies a debuff. Demon Cry applies like 5 debuffs, and then Demon Chain, which is their Hexa Demon Impact, is like another 3 debuffs. So no one really understands how aggro works in this game, but debuffs seem to pull a lot of aggro, and you'll see that it is very easy for a Demon Slayer to pull boss aggro and like hold them in a corner in Saren, for example. All right, Ruin Force Field. So this item gives you 10 FD, and it also makes you die. Uh, you take 25% more damage. So when I said they needed that survivability with the iframes, they need it because there are more interactions that will kill demon slayers. But it makes it for a fun kind of risk reward play style. Unfortunately, yeah, I don't have one. My Demon Avenger has one, which darn. But yeah, it's a pitch item. You can't ask for much. Uh, if you get lucky, you get 10 FD in exchange for having to play the game better. But we're all striving to play the game better, right? Well, I think that's everything I had. So I know this presentation probably ran a little bit long. Sorry. Thank you for watching, and in conclusion, play Demon Slayer. Thanks.